Hi everyone, I'm sort of in a very odd spot today. I'm actually at the hairdresser, and so this had been booked in since the 17th of January, and that's why I'm a little bit late getting on today. So I do apologise. I've got my 10 o'clock locked in for Facebook Lives now every Friday, but this had already been in the diary. My hairdresser was getting a bit stressed out about, oh my goodness me, how are we going to make this work? So apologies for being a bit late, but today I'm going to share with you something that's been coming up on quite a few posts I'm seeing around Benchtops and so forth. Now you'll see that I've got nice new hair, but you'll also see that I've got my hairdressing jacket on. So anyway, it is raw and real here today. So you have really got me in my most unprepared moment, but that's fine. I still have got my content in my head that I can share with you. So with regards to Benchtops, there are lots of different types of bench tops, and I suppose the most popular bench top is reconstituted stone. And so in Australia, that is generally just generically called Caesar stone. Caesar stone is actually a brand of a reconstituted stone, which is a combination of stone and quartz and other particles and minerals that are bound together with resin, and that's what makes a reconstituted stone. And that's different to a natural stone, which is exactly that. It's been quarried, it's a natural stone, it's got its imperfections, and there are lots of different types of natural stones. Some are much softer than others, like a Calcutta marble. They're very porous and they can be quite high maintenance. They need to be sealed on a regular basis. A granite, however, is incredibly durable. And can be quite consistent in its look when you're looking at a black Zimbabwean granite. Now, a reconstituted stone is very popular, and I did digress there a little bit. I went on to natural stones. So reconstituted stone being a man-made, or a combination of man-made materials and the natural stone particles and so forth, means that it's consistent. You know what you're actually buying. You can see the slab, and you know they pretty much all look the same, and so a lot of people like it for that reason, and the fact that there is pretty much no maintenance. It doesn't need to be sealed. Now, there are multiple brands available in Australia. So Caesar stone is and I do apologise, that is someone's phone going crazy. So the most popular brand that's got the biggest market share in Australia is Caesar stone, and that's a brand. It is not it's not the product. The product is reconstituted stone, and there is quite a bit of confusion around that. For example, in the US and in Europe, Silestone, which is a brand of reconstituted stone made by Cosentino, which is a Spanish company, is the number one brand in Europe and the US. And so Caesar stone pretty much has minimal market share in those markets. So it's converse in Australia. Then there's there's Esser stone, there is YDL stone. There's lots and lots of different stones available under the reconstituted stone banner. Now, some of the advantages with a reconstituted stone is they are not needed to be sealed. They are relatively stain resistant. Now, this is something that I get asked a lot. Is it stain resistant? And the answer to that is no. It is very stain repellent, but it is not 100% stain resistant. If you wanted something that was going to withstand any type of stain, you'd need to go to a product like Decton, which is also a composite product of minerals under a high pressure manufacturing process, which is pretty much indestructible. But a reconstituted stone is pretty durable. You know, it is going to give you really hard wearing surface, particularly opposed to something like a laminate. And so that is it is a very, very durable product and incredibly popular at the moment. And so when you're looking at your reconstituted stones, obviously when you're looking at something that is looking like a natural marble, you're going to get the benefits of not having to seal that. And so they are very popular because it is a lot more durable. But if, for example, you've got a wine glass, red wine, and you leave it on there for 24 hours, that is going to stain. You will need to get to that pretty much straight away and wipe that down. But, you know, they are really, really good. When you're looking at a product like Soulstone, their reconstituted stone has got a particular coating that's been put over the top called a nano coating, and that makes it additionally stain repellent and a little bit more stain resistant than some of the other brands. And so that might be something that you want to look into. The matte and suede surfaces are becoming more popular. Now, what I have seen with some of the really, really matte reconstituted stone bench tops is that they can show up a lot of the fingerprints, which I've had feedback from not my clients, but other people have said it drives them absolutely crazy. So that might be something that you'd want to consider, that having that super matte surface may not be as easy to clean as what you think, or it's not going to leave a really fingerprint resistant surface. The suede finish is sort of almost like it's not super matte, but it's certainly not the glossy finish, and that then isn't as it doesn't leave as many fingerprint marks. So that's a really nice alternative as well. It's a really soft, more earthy sort of finish than having a gloss. Now, your natural gloss surfaces for your bench tops, you know, they're fairly standard, but high gloss is what the next thing is going to be coming out of Europe. In Milan, at all the big trade shows over in Europe, high gloss bench tops are the big thing. But as I say with everything, if that's not something that you've loved for a considerable amount of time, then don't go down that path. And if in doubt, I just go for the normal, the normal finish on your bench top, or maybe even the suede finish. The other thing that gets asked a lot is, should I go black or should I go white with the bench top? And I think what you need to consider is what else is going on in that space. How much light do you have in the space? Obviously, white is going to reflect more light than black, which is going to absorb light. And so it does come down a little bit to personal preference. You might not want a completely white kitchen, and therefore if you know you want white cabinetry and you've got a white splashback and then you've got white bench top as well, it could be a little bit clinical, and you might then want to create a contrast by having a darker top. So the black does actually hide things like red wine marks and things like that, but it does also show up fingerprints a little bit more than what white will. So it does come down a little bit to personal preference, but I also think you need to think about it not in isolation, but in what else is going on in that space that's going to determine then whether you're going to have a white or a dark bench top. Now, I've lived with both, and I've loved having a white bench top, and I've loved having a really dark charcoal bench top. So I have never considered that one is better over the other. It is just, comes down to that personal preference. And yes, you will get more fingerprints showing up on a black bench top. And if that's going to drive you crazy, then, definitely take it away. You might not want something so severe, but then you can go for a mid-tone dark bench top as well. The other thing I wanted to touch on was there's a couple of other surfaces to consider for your bench tops. So there's Decton, which is what I mentioned before. That's also a Cosentino product. I specify that a lot for my clients. It is a incredibly, hi Despina, how lovely to have you. Despina's from London. So that's awesome that she's joined from the UK. So Decton is a product that is high pressure minerals that have been compressed together, and it comes in a really skinny format. You can get it in 6, 8, 12 mil. So if you want a really fine bench top, it's wonderful. It is also almost indestructible. So it's graffiti proof, it's heat proof, so you can put a saucepan straight onto that surface. Your kids can write all over it and it'll come off. It's also stain resistant. You can cut on it. It is absolutely indestructible. So it does need to be installed properly for it not to crack. There are reviews on Google that are saying, it cracks, but that means that it hasn't been installed correctly. So if installed correctly, you really can't go past a Decton finish. And also, if you're after something that's a little bit more industrial in look, they have some amazing industrial type of finishes available. So really, really amazing textures and finishes that you can get. And then the other one is laminate. That's been around for a long, long time. It's not being used as much as, reconstituted stonies. Hi, Lola, it's so nice to see you. And so laminate is not as durable. It can actually get water inside it, and that can expand, and it can also affect the type of sink you can have. You cannot use an undermount sink with a laminate. However, if budget is a big consideration, then laminate may be the solution for you. And when I was living in Europe, I had a laminate timber benchtop. I loved that timber look, but I didn't have to maintain the timber because it was a laminate surface, and it really stood the test of time for me for many, many years. So it really will come down to the personal look that you're after, and the durability. With a family of kids, I would probably steer away from the laminate in that instance and go for a reconstituted stone, or if budget permits, go for Decton. It is going to sit around 30% more expensive because the stonemason costs are a little bit more, but you are going to have a product that is really going to last and last and last, and you don't have to worry about it. It's maintenance free as well. There is a new product coming out for Benchtops, which is made out of 100% recycled glass, and this looks fantastic. And if sustainability is a really big consideration for you, a recycled glass benchtop, which is, I suppose it looks similar to a reconstituted stone, it is, a really fabulous option. A little bit more expensive, so that is something to consider. But if sustainability is your objective, then that's an awesome option to look into. So with Benchtops in mind, I just wanted to remind you that the Kitchen Masterclass is on Tuesday, and it's an intimate event, so let's not be worried about what's going on at the moment with lots of events being cancelled. This will go ahead. There aren't going to be lots and lots of people there. It is intimate, but it is in the Cosentino showroom. So it is benchtop heaven. So you'll be able to look at Decton, you'll be able to look at reconstituted stones, and you'll also be able to look at their natural stone collection. So if you are looking at a kitchen and you need to really investigate your benchtops, this is the perfect showroom for you to go to. I call it Benchtop Heaven, and then you'll also get the Kitchen Masterclass at the same time. So that's at 6 o'clock on Tuesday in Heatherton at the Cosentino showroom. So I would hope to see you there. I'll put the, hi Jen, nice to have you join and learn about Benchtops. And also to register, I'll put the registration details in the comments on this live post. So I hope to see you there, and I hope this has helped you with your benchtops. If you have a look at the webpage, I've actually got a list then of all the different topics that I'm going to be talking about over the coming weeks. So every Friday at 10 o'clock, I'll be talking about a new topic. Now, has anyone got any questions? Because I'm certainly here to answer any questions that you've got. It could be kitchen related, could be benchtop related. It may actually be something else that you wanted to ask. So if you did want to ask, I will be on here for the next couple of minutes. But thank you so much for joining. And Despina is loving my hair. Well, thank you. It probably won't look like this for much longer. But yes, I'm ready and raw here today because I'm certainly not in my, I don't have my earrings on. I don't have any makeup on. So I am just here today to share my information. So if there aren't any questions, then I'm going to finish up, and I look forward to seeing you next Friday for our next topic. Bye everyone, and thanks for joining. See you.